Hide your online activity and location with Virtual Shield VPN. Your 20% off code and your free trial are in the description. If you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. This guy is a real piece of work. From the last video, this is the guy who cannot answer the simple question, is the intentional taking of human life by private persons always wrong?
The Constitution says that
I'm not
a
talking
woman
about
has
the
a
Constitution. What
right
do you
to make
think? No, I'm not talking about women's rights. I mean, intentional taking of human life by private persons is always, that's what he said, and I just want to know if you agree with that statement or not.
What he has shown in his legal career.
Are you really afraid? Are you really afraid to say the intentional taking of life is wrong?
No, of course not. I was a prosecutor. I
it?
prosecuted people for intentionally taking life.
But you won't agree with this because you're afraid of the abortion lobby and like, ooh, you're anti-abortion if you're against the intentional taking of human life. I mean, come on.
I uploaded the last video as a backdrop for this video. Not being able to answer that simple question of morality lets you know exactly what kind of parasite we're dealing with here. He has no moral compass because he's too busy pandering to special interest groups so he can maintain his political position. His allegiance belongs to other brain-dead narcissistic psychopaths, not to truth, justice, and basic human compassion. So this same representative Eric Swalwell defended a potential assault weapons buyback on Friday afternoon, saying that if gun owners defy a legislative ban, the government has nukes. The exchange began with Twitter commenter Joe Biggs responding to a story on Swalwell's op-ed in USA Today titled, "Ban Assault Weapons, Buy 'em Back, Go After Resistors." Biggs wrote, "Swalwell wants a war, because that's what you would get." Swalwell responded by noting the government's nuclear arsenal, writing, "And it would be a short war, my friend. The government has nukes. Too many of them, but they're legit. I'm sure if we talked, we could find common ground to protect our families and communities." How the heck can you find common ground with a guy who can't even answer the question if the intentional taking of human life is always wrong? Biggs responded by asking, "So our government would nuke its own country in order to take guns?" Wow. Swalwell countered by asking Biggs to quit being dramatic about the casual reference to weapons of mass destruction. "Don't be so dramatic. You claiming you need a gun to protect yourself against the government is ludicrous. But you seem like a reasonable person. If an assault weapons ban happens, I'm sure you'll follow law." No matter how you slice it, that's just a creepy statement. Basically what he's saying is, if we declare a weapon will be banned, you shall follow our edicts. Back in May, Swalwell wrote in USA Today, quote, "Ban assault weapons and buy them back. It might cost $15 billion, but we can afford it. Consider it an investment in our most important right, the right to live." I'd rather consider it for what it really is, Eric. A power play by a rule-making, psychopathic, authoritarian elitist who wants to force peaceful people to do things against their will just because you said so. He also wrote in his op-ed, reinstating the federal assault weapons ban that was in effect from 1994 to 2004 would prohibit manufacture and sales, but it would not affect weapons already possessed. This would leave millions of assault weapons in our communities for decades to come. Instead, we should ban possession of military-style semi-automatic assault weapons. We should buy back such weapons from all who choose to abide by the law, and we should criminally prosecute any who choose to defy it by keeping their weapons. And that, my friends, should be read in the most sinister voice you can muster. Because lived out, that's exactly what it is. Sinister. Let me read that again. We should ban possession of military-style semi-automatic weapons. We should buy back weapons from all who choose to abide by the law, and we should criminally prosecute any who choose to defy it by keeping their weapons. I almost feel like going, "You choose to defy my commands, Luke." Do you realize the insanity he's peddling here? The insanity all politicians peddle? Obey our arbitrary rules because we said so. And if you do not bow to our rule, if you defy us, we will declare you criminals, we'll come after you, prosecute you in our courts, and cage you like animals. That's the statist mindset, guys. And I don't care what side of the aisle you find it on. Statism is statism. It's the concept that these people believe they have a higher claim over your life and property than you do. And that's utter BS. Declaring someone a criminal because he doesn't obey your command does not make that person a criminal. The real criminals are those who initiate and apply unjust force on people who haven't done anything wrong. In other words, Eric Swalwell and all the politicians who sanction the use of force against people for so-called victimless crimes are the real criminals. All politicians who sanction the theft of property, like the forceful taking of guns without the consent of the owner, are criminals. And we need to wake up and throw the people involved in this domestic terror organization known as the House and the Senate into cages where they belong, as a lesson to everyone that this is what happens to mere humans who think they can rightly rule over and harm other humans. Leave your thoughts for the world, the Google Thought Police, and the brain-dead followers and supporters of Eric Swalwell in the comments section below. Guys, I upload at least one new video every day. If you want to be alerted when I upload, make sure you subscribe to High Impact Vlogs, hit the bell notification icon, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. If you want to support more content like this and keep this channel going, and if you want to grab a hard-hitting hoodie, shirt, hat, or mug, the Patreon, PayPal, and shirt links are in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.
When you get right down to it, the gun is what is going to do the killing.